everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming at you with a full-on story time and review on my new to me Christian Dior Lady Dior nylon handbag. So this here is vintage. It was made in 1998. So like definitely like obviously 20 years ago, so it is pretty vintage, but it's in a really great condition. Now it's a little bit wrinkly, but I've seen on other photos of you know, similar ones where the nylon pieces are always wrinkled like this no matter what. So oh yeah, I thought it was cool, but also it's in amazing condition, which is the reason why I bought it as well. So a little story time about how I got this. So normally I am not a crazy eBay buyer. I usually don't purchase a lot of high priced items off of eBay. $100 is like my max, but when I saw this, I had to get it for the price that it was. And then looking at how much this bag is regularly on retail, like in the store, it is so much money, and I saved like a lot of money. I really didn't spend a lot on this bag. And this bag did come from Japan. The seller was from Japan. And I do have a little bit of a comfort with buying eBay items from Japan, because, especially luxury, because when I went to Japan a couple years ago, I went to so many consignment stores, and like the quality and conditions that their bags are in is phenomenal. And also there is a law in Japan where fake replica handbags are not allowed, or really fake anything is not allowed. And so I had full confidence, but I also did a lot of research on this bag, but I did it after I purchased it. So I purchased this off an auction, and I had to think about it for a day, because when I first found it, there was like a day or so left that it was available until the auction was over. So I put it on my watch list, and then the next day, eBay sent me an email, notified me that the auction was ending. So I looked at it again. I really pondered really hard. I think there was like an hour or so left of this auction. So I looked really thoroughly on this bag. What I did was, and thankfully that the seller had a lot of pictures on this bag of the interior, especially because I find that the interior is really what makes and breaks to tell if the bag is real or not. Now, I am not a authenticator. I was basically authenticating this based on other luxury retail websites like Fashion File and Yuyi's Closet, because they have similar bags like this. Actually, I think Fashion File had more identical, or they basically had the same bag in the same size and style and everything. So I really looked and nitpicked at every little detail in comparison from the seller's pictures and their photos. So I looked at the quilting. I even like counted how many stitches there were in each like canage quilt square, and then also I looked at how the CDs were etched in the hardware, even the little charm here, the zipper, and also the lobster claw here for the long strap, and even the interior here with the lining, and also with the tag here and the date code in the back. So, oh, and also the hardware, like the back of the ringlets here. I looked in the back of the screws, because luxury or replicas always mess up on the screw heads. So I looked at that and compared it, and I was really comfortable in purchasing this. So when the time came to, you know, like the last like 10 seconds or something, I made my offer, and I won the auction really fast. And I got a like a pretty good deal on this item. I mean, obviously it wasn't $100 because usually I don't spend more, like usually I don't spend more than $100 on eBay, but this I made an exception because the deal I got for this bag is crazy. So I immediately decided, yeah, it's totally worth my money, because I think retail, like right now in store, if this was made new, it would definitely be like in the $2,000 range or more, $3,000 range. So I figured the price that I get it at, or that I got it at, is really a steal. And so the price I basically got this for was under $400, including shipping. I didn't have to pay duties or taxes. I was lucky, but yeah, so I don't know how that worked out, but it worked out in the end for me really good. And so yeah, I really enjoy this bag. I have gotten a lot of questions about this bag on my last or my first reveal video of this item. I think I got like a week or two ago, but I've had this bag a little longer. I think I've had this for like 3 weeks, and there's a lot of pros and cons to this bag, but I still love it. There's more pros than cons. So first I'll mention the cons and then the pros. So the cons of this is that it was or it is like pretty saggy when I hold it in my hand, or like when it's being held in the handles or by the strap. It looks like it's a very structural bag, but once it sits down on a surface or anything, it like gets really saggy, really soft, but there's nothing in here. So when I pack it full of stuff, that's when it keeps its structure. Now when I touch the sides of the bag, I do feel like there is some kind of hard, like little paneling surface, like either cardboard or plastic, like a plastic board inside, for it to somewhat keep its structure. I mean, it's not strong enough, obviously, because like, look at that. But I think it's I mean, it's old, it's relatively old. This was made in like 1998, so like obviously like 20 years ago, and it's a really great bag. Another con is that when I have the long strap, or when I'm holding in the long strap, it kind of does this weird thing where one side where the strap is holding the hoop pulls up on each side, but I mean, it's not very noticeable, but I just find it kind of weird. And also, if you notice that when I have this out like this, the handles kind of stick out and they don't really stay up properly, they just flop down kind of like on an angle. So when I have this bag against my body, it's kind of sticking out, but luckily it's flexible, like especially this material is flexible and it's pretty forgiving, so it sits comfortable. Like I don't feel it digging into my body. I just want to note that it kind of sticks out like this when you hold it up. So I love holding it in the crook of my arm the most. Crook my arm like this, or on my wrist, or even in my hand. It fits really comfortable. So that's like basically it about the cons. Oh, another con, sorry, is the zipper opening. And I know a lot of people have complaints, but what I like, it's a pretty small opening, so when I go in, obviously whatever object I'm putting in also rubs against the zipper. However, the zipper is plastic, so it's not too sharp versus like the metal version in the new ones, because I know the new versions have the metal zipper here, like the little metal zipper teeth, but this is plastic. It's a little bit softer and it doesn't feel very sharp, so that's a pro and con. But the pro about this is it holds a lot of stuff. It, like, you could probably fit like a small little lunch container here, your wallet, keys, or even a full long size wallet, teas, hand cream, maybe a book, and I think that's really about it. It holds a lot in here for its size, and it's another great thing is I don't have to worry about it, like, you know, getting ruined in the rain or snow or even in hot sunny weather, because this is fabric, it's not leather, so it's pretty good to all weather conditions, unless like you get it really wet and you're like in the rain for like a good hour and it just gets soaked, then obviously whatever you have inside your bag will get soaked. But it's great if you're caught in the rain for like 5 minutes. It's perfectly fine, and it's also easy to take care of. So if you get wet, you can, or if you get this wet, you can just grab a hand dryer or a hair dryer and just blow at it and just hang it to dry overnight, and it'll be fine. Your handbag will be fresh and clean, or new again, so you can use it again in the morning. It's really easy to hold in the hand because it doesn't, because one side here is rounded and then the back side here is flat. The handles sit really nicely together when you have it in your hand. So it doesn't have this thing where I noticed this with rolled, like double rolled handbags or handles, where when you hold it in your hand, it kind of leaves a gap in your hand, so your hand is kind of forced to have a fist like this. So when you have it in your when you have this in your hand, the handles are closer together, it's smaller, and you can grip it a lot easier. So it's a really user-friendly or ergonomic handbag in that way. And the fact that it comes with a strap is really good. When I was searching for this, after I purchased this, or searching similar handbags to this, a lot of these nylon Lady Dior's didn't have the strap, but they were being sold at the same price that I purchased this for. So I was really lucky in that part. So I'm really grateful for this strap because it does come in handy when I have to, you know, when I can't have this in my hand. I'll just put this on my shoulder, or sometimes if I'm really needy, I'll wear this as a crossbody, but it's not really ideal for a crossbody. The strap is pretty short, as you can see. It's not really long, so it sits like really high. It sits like up here on me, like right at my rib cage, but I mean it's fine because I'll just push it to the side and make sure that the bag is fully zippered, so it's a fully secured bag anyways if someone tries to get in. And it's actually kind of hard to get in because the fabric is so flimsy. It's kind of hard to like, even if I were to hold the bag like this and try to zipper it, it's not going to zip. So if someone's going to break, you know, go in your bag, it's kind of hard, and also kind of hard to dig into your bag and get stuff. So it's a really secured bag. This is one hand. I think this is, other than my Speedy 25, this is the one handbag where it's fully secured with one zip. So that's also why I love this bag. Another pro about this is the interior. It does come with a pocket, and it's a red interior, so it's easy to find all of your like black SLGs or black items inside your bag. And also you can pull the lining out, so if you get like a stain or anything, you can pull the lining out and like wipe it off and put it back in, and like and you have no issues with washing it out or cleaning it. And also a thing that I did as well was because it gets so flimsy, like as you can see, I made a kind of like a bag shaper. So it just looks like this. Sorry for the glare, but it looks like this. It's just a sheet folded up and shaped to the same size as the interior of the bag, and it just sits inside the bag like so, and the fabric just rests on this, and it keeps the bag up. So I'll show you an example. And the reason why I did this was because I couldn't, like, it's really hard to find a bag shaper for this bag, because finding a bag shaper for this bag is very unlikely, because you get a lot of bag shapers for like Louis Vuitton handbags and such. So this is basically what it looks like. So it looks like that inside. You can't, sorry about the glare, but it looks like that inside. The zipper goes over the plastic sides like this, and it keeps the shape of the bag. I mean, it's still quite soft, but when it sits down, you can tell that it doesn't flop all the way down. It's just a little bit of the, I guess, stretched fabric on the bottom is kind of scrunched up. But before, as you saw earlier, the bag would just sag and not hold up very well. And I think also it's because it has this metal charms here. This puts a lot of weight on the bag, so it brings a lot of weight down here. So that, I guess that's why it scrunches up. But with the bag shaper, it keeps its shape up. Like, I'm not even holding it, I'm just holding it from the bottom. It doesn't really sag in the bottom here. It keeps its shape. So I'm really happy about this. And also, like, I can move the side of the bag shaper and just get access to the little inside pocket. So yeah, that's basically what I did. It's really easy to make. You can just go to your art supply store, and this literally cost me like $3. So that was my little cheat, I guess, to have the shape back. And that was my biggest worry. I was wondering how I was going to get this to stay upright, and whenever I set it down, it won't just like look sad and miserable and saggy. So I made this bag shaper, and it has really helped a lot. Now, for it to fully not sag, you just have to fill it up with a lot of stuff, and it's pretty easy to do. Get like a large wallet, a long large wallet, some makeup, hand cream, your keys, obviously, maybe a book, and you're basically done. This thing can hold a lot for its size. I believe the depth is like 4 inches. Yeah, it's like 4 inches in depth. So it fits quite a lot. And this is the same size as the current medium Lady Dior. So there's not really been much change other than just material. And also what I noticed is this eye here is very different than today's eye in the Dior logo. So if you are looking for this similar handbag, don't worry too much that this looks very different than the logo of today's. And someone also asked me if you're looking for this bag, how much is too much for this bag, and like basically what's the maximum you should pay. For me personally, I would definitely not pay anything over like $500 Canadian. So I mean, or even like $400 USD. So that's just because it's vintage. Most of the bag is fabric, and also this bag isn't really in demand. Right now what's in demand is the trotte bags with the Dior logo all over it, like kind of like the saddle bags, the really old like blue and gray logo bags. So those whatever those bags cost, it's basically what I got for this bag, and it's a larger bag. It's more classic. I mean, I don't get a lot of looks as much as like say Chanel, as much as like my Chanel and Dior or Chanel and Louis Vuitton handbags. That's because this handbag is a lot more simplified. It's less showy. Not, you can't, like, from far away, you can't really read what this charm says unless you're like an actual like designer, luxury designer fan, and you know this style of handbag or whatnot, and unless you really look closely to the ringlets here where it says CD. But other than that, it's a really great like understated handbag, and that's why I love it too. It's not so showy because there's a lot of times where I don't want a lot of attention at me, or actually most of the time. But anyways, so I honestly wouldn't pay more than $500 Canadian, $400 USD, around there, unless you can get it cheaper, or unless it's like in amazing condition. This here I did have to wash a little bit, but I'm not going to tell you how I did because it's not very I wouldn't say it's not kosher the way I did it, because I just took a chance at it, so I wouldn't even recommend you guys do what I did. But to clean up the hardware was quite, it wasn't as shiny as it is now. It was a little bit more dingy a little bit. So what I did was I just grabbed a baby wipe, a non-alcoholic scent-free baby wipe, and I just wiped and scrubbed a little bit on the hardware all around, and even the zipper, and it came out really nice and shiny. So I mean, that's the thing with pre-loved vintage handbags. To get them really dirt cheap, they're gonna come somewhat in not the greatest condition, so you have to put in some work and effort into cleaning it up, getting it back into shape, and that's basically what I did with this bag, and I'm really happy with this bag. Would I go and buy another Lady Dior bag after purchasing this? Honestly, I wouldn't, because I've seen how this bag holds up in lambskin and in other leathers, and it gets really saggy. And at least with the fabric, you can kind of try to get it back to its shape with the bag shaper, and just by cleaning it up with just warm soap and water, or gentle soap and water, and it'll be back. Whereas leather is a little bit harder. You have to do more stuff to it with a lot more products. This is just really easy and simple to clean, and I have banged this against doors and it's actually held up really amazing. I don't see any like white marks or anything on the corners. So yeah, I really do highly recommend for those who want a Lady Dior bag but don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a bag that you aren't 100% on. Because yes, I do love the Lady Dior. I love it in the leather version, but it's not making me want to spend like $5,000 or as much as I did on my Chanel Jumbo Classic Flap, because these like Dior handbags really don't sell very well on the pre-sale or the pre-loved market. You like, the best you could probably get is half of your money back. So that's why I went with vintage. It's a really great price. I can probably get my money back. Since it's in great condition, I can maybe sell it for a little bit more, but I would not be selling this at all anytime soon. So I really recommend this bag to you guys. If you have any more questions about this bag, I'd be glad to answer it in another video or answer in the comments below. Depending on how in-depth my answer is going to be, I'll make a video or comment below. So yeah, please like this video to let me know that you want more of my videos, and particularly if you want more videos about this little beauty here, I'll be greatly happy to do that for you. Please subscribe to my channel. I'd really do appreciate it, and also subscribe or follow me on Instagram, Catherine is a cat. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great and fantastic day. Bye bye.